For those of you that don't know, my name is Summer Farman. I was diagnosed in the summer of 2020. Mark gave that great introduction to the why of ALKtALK. He is the show off here for 10 years since diagnosis, and I'm so glad that he is back with us tonight. We're already back to bickering, so we know he is doing well. It's fabulous. Also giving you the why before. This is actually our second time doing these breakout rooms. We did them 2 years ago, I believe. For me, it was great. I was just starting my second line treatment, and it was so nice to be able to connect with other people. I'm going to just tell you a little story that this is your live, so you get it. But again, it brings home that why. My first line treatment, here I'm a brand new patient, was barely a patient of anything besides having my children. And I think I'm going crazy. Like all of a sudden I can breathe better, but yet I'm struggling in other ways. My muscles are hurting. My food all tastes metallic. I can walk 2 miles straight, but walking up the stairs, my legs are killing me. But then I go to the Facebook group, right? And I type in metallic taste, or I post it, and everybody's like, yeah, don't worry, that goes away. But then I also see somebody else on my same treatment is like running a marathon, or they're in a cycling race or something, and I'm struggling. But again, I'm making those connections to find people to give me tricks and ideas, because treatment is not a one size fits all prescription. I then have liver toxicity. I move on to my second line, and now I'm like better than ever. I can carry my 20-year-old around who has cerebral palsy. I can work out. My brain fog is gone. I tell everybody, oh, don't worry if you have to switch, it's fine, you're going to do great. And then one of my great friends is like, I switched and now I can't leave my home without incontinence products. Or another friend, like, I have a severe nausea and headache. So again, driving home the point, we are all different. It doesn't matter our size. Every one responds to treatments differently. Same thing with chemo. Somebody could have no reactions, somebody else it's severe. So again, we're coming together tonight to share our tips and tricks. Don't be intimidated in those rooms that somebody's responding really well and you need to dose all the way down to a 450 or a half dose. It doesn't mean that their tricks are going to make, drastically increase your quality of life, but you taking your treatment at a different time of day might. So these are all things that we want to share. We want to build relationships and friendships and learn from each other. So thank you so much. And with that, Yvonne and Mark, take it away.
Anyways, I think I'm pretty funny, but when I look at the squares, I have absolutely no idea if I'm funny or not. But it's been a while. I've had progression since December. And, I've had some, basically I was in the hospital for a while, and Summer and Dana took over for me. But I want to say that the reason that we started ALKtALK at the very beginning, October of 2020, was for this. And this was for us to talk to each other versus doing Facebook posts. Nothing wrong with Facebook, but I don't hear voices. I was Anglo-Latinib, so I was hearing voices in my head, but they weren't your voices. So basically, this is why we started it. And it wasn't for bringing in experts at the very, very beginning, but it was for us to break up into breakout rooms. So tonight we're going to do that. And I'm going to start off with some polling questions. And Yvonne's going to do the speaking, considering I don't have a voice. So here we go.
So much. So for those of you who may not know me, my name is Yvonne Diaz, and I was diagnosed with ALK-positive stage 4 lung cancer in August 2021, thankfully on my first line treatment and doing well. It's a pleasure to be here with Mark to help out with the polling. So Mark, I'll let you do the honors for us. All right, so on your screens, hopefully you are seeing the first poll. What is the type of treatment you are receiving? And this is a single choice option. We have chemo plus TKI, alectinib, brigatinib, lorlatinib, just chemo, a clinical trial, or no current treatment. Please take a moment and respond. How's that going, Mark? Are you seeing?
No one's responding. So
What?
do you guys not see that?
Is everyone seeing the poll? It popped up for me.
I can see the poll, how it's
I
running.
submitted. I
Oh, good.
submitted.
I submitted as well.
I
Me
submitted.
too.
Maybe I'm just not seeing the results.
I submitted, but it wasn't what I'm taking.
Okay, but I'm gonna end it in a few minutes and hopefully when I show you the results, people will see.
Thank you, everyone.
I'm gonna end the poll.
Wonderful. Okay, so not unsurprisingly, I suppose, we have alectinib way ahead of the pack with 55 people who responded, 55%, I should say, responding on alectinib. The close second is lorlatinib with 27%. Brigatinib is just behind that on 12%. And then tied, we have chemo and TKI. Also at the same 2% is a clinical trial. And we have 1% on chemo alone and 1% on no treatment at the moment. So thank you so much. Now we're getting on with our second question of the day. All right, lines of treatment. How many different lines of treatment have you been on? This is again another single choice. And we have everything from 1 ranging up to 6+. So what shall it be?
Well, if you have a TKI and then you stop it and go into chemo, that would be 2 lines of treatment.
That's right. And so some people might have started on, we have it shouldn't be, but some people start on chemo, then move to a TKI. So that's 2 lines of treatment, isn't it? All right. Hopefully everyone's able to submit that. How are we doing there, Mark? Can you see it?
No, but I can end the poll.
All right, everyone hopefully done with that one. Okay, well, this evening we have a lot of people on first line. So 44% of us are on first line treatments, myself included, closely followed by 32% of us on our second line. A bit of a drop here to 14% of us on our third line, and 4% on our fourth line. No one is on a fifth line, but yet 6% of you on 6 lines or more. So amazing stuff. We have one more question left here for you this evening, hopefully to get us warmed up, I hope, ahead of tonight's discussion. And that's on a subject that's really dear to us, quality of life. So this is really hopefully going to set us up for tonight. How do you currently rate your quality of life? So everything from the top, saying I'm feeling great, I'm pretty much back to my pre-cancer baseline, to I'm feeling pretty good, this is my new normal. In the middle, we have tolerable, realizing I have some new challenges. And then those of us who feel we're barely hanging on, I need a lot of assistance, or I need assistance in my daily life. And then those who may be bedridden or really struggling, unable to live a daily life. So please do take a moment to respond. Okay, Mark, I think we can end that poll. Probably everyone's done by now. All right, so I'm happy to say that most of you, 62%, are feeling pretty good. So realizing this is your new normal. And then really in the middle, 21% of us saying that, we're feeling everything is tolerable, the quality of life, realizing there's some new challenges. A small minority of 12% are feeling great, back to pre-cancer life pretty much. And 4% of us really struggling there, barely hanging on and need a lot of assistance. Happy to say that no one took the last option, so that's great. So thank you so much, everyone. Really, I think hopefully those will help spark good conversations tonight, along with the other questions we have in the group. And Summer, I'll just hand it back to you for the instructions.
Thank you so much. Can I just say our turnout of 120 people so far, I am so excited because this is such an amazing and awesome opportunity and topic and so critical, but often without the experts, this number isn't so high. So I am so excited. However, it does create a bit of a challenge, but it's a great challenge to have because now I'm going to ask Mark to make some extra breakout rooms, and I'm going to explain to all of you how we're going to go about this right now. He is going to launch breakout rooms, and in your toolbar, you're either going to have to hit the 3 buttons once he does it, but we're going to have to give him a little bit more time because at first we were thinking like 2 alectinib rooms, 2 lorlatinib rooms, but we want to keep these rooms small so you can have organic conversations and actually talk, not that it's like 30 people taking turns. So there's going to be 3 alectinib rooms, alectinib 1, 2, and 3, 3 lorlatinib rooms, 1, 2, and 3. Maybe we'll do 2 brigatinib. And then Mark, are we doing
4 alectinib, 4 lorlatinib, and then 1 clinical trial, 1 chemo, and then basically we'll see how it works.
okay,
So I can open the rooms now, and then anyone who has a
don't
problem.
go yet, anybody. I'm going to explain it.
puts them into a room.
Perfect.
So I'm going to open them up right now.
Don't leave yet. I'm going to explain this to you. Okay, so at the bottom, it says that I'm going. Okay, so at the bottom in a second, you're going to click on Join Breakout Room. When you click on Join Breakout Room, now Mark, it's only saying to me, I've been assigned chemotherapy. It should show all of you all the different choices. So we got to check this out here. But you should have a bunch of different choices. If you're on alectinib, you're all going to alectinib 1. If you're on brigatinib, you're all going to 1. If you're on lorlatinib, you're all going to that first room, and then there, the moderators will count off 9 people or however many people, and then you'll go to another breakout room, okay? So we'll go to the first room, and then from there, you'll switch off, and you can do introductions and all of that fun stuff, and we'll reconvene here at about 4:45.
Wasn't that a great experience? Having 111 people jump into breakout rooms. Sherry, how did your room go?
Great. Went really well.
Yeah,
A lot
saw
of
coming into the room.
catnip lovers,
Cat
as Summer
lovers?
would say.
So,
So I just
That's
like to just, before we end out, just say that to just check the calendar for the upcoming Healing Arts meetings this week. We have we have lots of meetings and more opportunities for you to connect with fellow alkies and have discussions. So just check it out, see if there's something that meets you. What?
Is the Death Cafe tomorrow?
It is.
Yes, yeah.
Mark, in the alectinib group, there were a number of newer individuals that may not be aware of the Facebook group or all of our healing arts programs. So can you do a plug for the healing arts programs?
Sure,
and
I'm
gonna highlight on a few of the topics.
Sure. We started that back in 2020. And so if you look at a monthly calendar, you'll see events like, I don't want to start off with this too deathly, but the Death Cafe is typically on Mondays. And you look at that and you say, oh, but it's really good topics. So that's on Mondays typically, Tuesdays, and we also have a writing group on Mondays, which is a closed group. You have to sign up for that. Tuesday, it typically is yoga. We also have chair yoga on Wednesday. We have guided imagery on Wednesday, which is a guided meditation with a class, which is cool. Thursday is art therapy. Friday, we have something called Mindset Reset. which is with one of our fellow Alkies who happens to be a life coach. And then we also have separate groups. We have roundtable groups, which meet every 8 months. So those are closed groups with licensed practitioners. We also have single Alkies, which I think is run by Nikki Hirsch, which is here. We also have
We have a
refresh my
new group
memory.
coming called
Dana,
New
what am I
Alkies,
missing?
where it's for people a year and under. That's starting up soon. For people who are new, just to come and meet more fellow Alkies and talk about the chat, how they feel being newly diagnosed and,
Right. And
some-
typically men don't join these groups, and we have a men's group once a month, the third Thursday of each month at 9 o'clock Eastern time. And Dan helps run that group, Dan Wilson. So, I mean, and I'm sure I'm missing a few groups, but Summer, tell us how we can see that on a calendar. How we can get access to that calendar.
It's in
Okay.
chat.
I just put them, thank you. Yep, I just threw them in the chat right now. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, you can do that at ALKpositive.org. And then you'll get emails about it. If you're not on Facebook, we also have it posted in there. Yeah, and then save those, and then often they're tweaked a little bit, but at least that's a good baseline for right now. You can see the classes coming up. I always say art therapy was my gateway drug, class. Um, that led me to then get involved. And we have a happy hour coming up, which will be similar to this chaos. Lots of fun. We'll do like a little, actually, that was how Dana, Mark, and I started working together 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago, also years ago. I think 3 years ago. But so that's coming up in March, I think on a Thursday at 9, and just super laid back again. We'll like answer.
we play games. We do karaoke with with our mics off, so we can all sing, but we don't have to hear each other sing. It's just community building, but
Just like some fun connections for sure. And then you can see the 2 ALK talks on there. And palliative care, which is a huge one. That's actually second, but that's on the 10th. So if you're not familiar with that, or have been wondering, or you went and whatever, anyway, being on their radar is huge. And then also a University of Michigan update that will be in 2 weeks at 7 o'clock Eastern time. So yes, it will be recorded. Those times seem to work better for the physicians, at 7 o'clock time. So yeah, so that will be there with just how you can participate, updates, and the latest research for that. And then either later in March or early April, there will be a rack.
Hirsch. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we have a group once a month. Actually, we're going to start and do twice a month starting in March. And it's for all of us that don't have spouses or caregivers that we live with. Those of us who are alone, to come together, make our own community, and support each other. So I hope for those who would like to join, whatever your situation, come chat with us we do one night. We do the second Tuesday at 9 p.m. and then we're going to try one at 4 p.m. 2 weeks later.
Awesome. I like to sing all the single Alkies, all the single Alkies. Yvonne, anything else, girl? You want to up? It's been so
No.
fun. Like,
Yeah,
having
no, I'm
on
just
here.
really so grateful that so many of you joined us tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the conversations. I popped around, and the conversations were just moving on their own. So I hope everyone got a lot out of it, but it really means a lot that everyone's here speaking to each other. It's so important to do that. And again, I can't say enough about the Healing Arts calendar. It's such a great opportunity just to meet in real life and chat about whatever. So please do check out the calendar.
Yes. Mark, you muted?
Sorry, I think that this event itself is very important because it allows us, typically on Sundays, you're muted and you can't speak. So unless you've already a chat question. And so I think that we should really do more of these on our calendar and get to know people. So we will try to plan more of these.
Yeah.